Thank you very much, and particularly thanks to the University of Victoria, because the topic is very sensitive if I give a speech in China. So I'm very happy, yes, being invited and can be easily and freely to talk this. You know, in China, the Buddhism and Taoism and Confucianism is the mainstream of the religion. But talk about Islam, very few people probably know that. So I use this opportunity to take photos and show these photos in Lanzhou, Gansu, the Muslim children. So the first part is the historical journey from anti-religion to the religion tolerance. After the founding of the People's Republic, when the communists try to consolidate their power, so at first it's be very cautious. But before that, I should introduce a little bit in the Western academic scholar work. First is Raphael Israeli in 1980 published a book about the Muslims in China, a study of the cultural confrontations, and his argument is absolute in compatibility between Islam and communism, between monotheism and the atheism. And Drew Gladney, American anthropologist, published a book in 1991, Muslim Chinese, and mainly argued about the role of the state in shaping the national identity. And the Jonathan Liebman, another American historian, published a book, The Familiar Strangers, and talk about the Qing dynasty, the Muslim groups with the local government and in northwest of China. This is Islamic festivals in Kunshan, very close to Shanghai, just about 30 minutes by the car. Actually, China sees the great revival of the Islam today, and however it remains one of the few Marxism-oriented socialist countries in the world, and the ruling ideology is still the atheism. So it's something like very contradicted. In a communist country, the religion is booming, and particularly Islam is so grows fast. So after the founding of the People's Republic, the new governments take the cautionary attitude and also launch these counter-reactionary campaigns. And even before the founding of the People's Republic, the communists issued the common outline of the Chinese People Political Consultation Committee, affirmed the ethnic minority rights, include the religion freedoms. And the new constitutions also have an article that the citizens have the freedom of the religions. So at least in words, it's in word. But after the power becomes so strong and any oppositions be crackdowns, the Communist Party immediately launched the religion reform movements and confiscated the religion properties and put the clerics in the jails. So this is Muslims in Ningxia, and he was executed in the early of the 1970s, and the book he published about Islam. So the Cultural Revolution is the largest catastrophe, and all of these practices of the Islam be prohibited, not only the ritual but also the living customs, and the mosque destroyed, and the book, the text, Quran be burned, and Muslims first to rise the peak, and the disease was decremented. So this is a group of the Muslims from Yunnan. They appealed to the authorities in the peak of the cultural revolutions, try to resist their wrong fares. But in 1975, the 3 Muslim villages was totally destroyed by the gunfire, and 1,000 people died, the Muslims. And they be regarded as the martyrs by the Muslims after this redress. The policy, the beginning of the communist regimes in the 1950s even have the policy which is especially give the Muslim the favorite condition, paid leave for the Muslim during the Islamic festival, and during the great farming, even allow Muslims to wear clothes and cotton and cooking oil and other material because of their special custom. So in 1955, and the Bandung Conference, China take this opportunity, establish the diplomatic relation with several Islamic countries. And the Chinese government invite the Islamic sheikh from the Middle East, lead Chinese community, Muslim community in northwest of China. And so in this event, the Muslim clerics have played a key role in bridging China and the Islamic world. After the days of the Mao Zedong and the arrest of the Gang of Four, the Deng Xiaoping resumed the power and usually the reform and open policies. And he take the very pragmatic attitude toward the religions. And the Communist Party of China shift their standing that from concern about the religion, which from the opium of the people to the religion should adapt to the socialist spiritual civilizations, very strong terms with the propaganda and ideology meanings. This is the library must be wrong in Lanzhou. So today in China, the last year's statistics say that the Muslim population is 24 million, and 10 ethnic minorities believe in Islam, and 6 ethnic minorities speak Turkic language, and 1 is Chinese spoken Muslims, and 2 are the Mongolia language spoken Muslim, and 1 is Eastern Iranian, the Tajik Muslims. So have 40,000 mosques. The number of the religion spots is much more than the Buddhist temple and the Christian church. And the number of the cleric, the imam and the ahom is 50,000. And for last 5 years, every year, China sent about 12,000 Haji to fulfill the pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. And a lot of the Muslim youth, the young students, study in Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Malaysia, Pakistan, and the Middle East countries, and study Islam. So this is a mosque which built in Shanghai, very close to the Tibet, the Muslims. So with this revival of the Islams, a lot of this the new type of the Arabic style architectural mosque replace the traditional Chinese architectural style, which look like the Buddhist temples. So this is one mosque which is run by the Hui Muslims in Urumqi, the capital of Xinjiang. And about 250,000 Muslim students study Islam in more than 1,000 Islamic schools, most of them privately. No other religion in China compared with Islam in its development of the private and grassroots education network. he considered that China not allow the private university in general. So compared with the Christianity, Buddhism, the Islam really grows so fast. And they have a new type of the madrasa, which is the religion school. This is in Yunnan, the southern Yunnan, about 200 kilometers from Kunming, the capital of Yunnan. The mosque even have 400 religious students study Islam. So the Ahong and the Imam, in China, it should be that the religion separate from the politics. But in many cases, the cleric often involve the politics. It's very intuitive. The Ahong and the Imam often in their religion sermons give a speech about how to cooperate with the government and such a population controlling programs, and to obey the law, and even giving speech against the American superpower. So a lot of these clerics recruit into the state administration to secure the development of the harmonious society. Through their efforts, the Muslim community have integrated with socialist countries. This is the Imam, lot of the Ahom. So the second part is internal implication of the growth of the Islam. I talk about the preferential policies. So the Muslim can establish the autonomous units, and the Muslim leaders can run administrations, and they'll be overrepresented. For example, Ningxia Hui autonomous regions, the population is 2/3 are the Han Chinese, and the Muslim only 1/3. But the Muslim, the leaders and the main cadre rank is the Muslims. Allowed exceptions from the population control programs. A lot of Muslims can have more than one child for a family, and allow easy access to the school and the university educations, and more lenient treatment if they break the law. And that is in Ningxia, about 50 kilometers from the Yingchuan. So Muslim granted more subsidies for the special customers, and Muslim gave the preferential treatment in competition for a post or applications, such like be promoted into the professorship or the post. And regions with a large Muslim population receive more state funds. That's the Muslim bookshop. A lot of this Arabic text is privately printed. That's in China, usually the printing house, the media are always controlled by the state. The Muslim can find a space running this kind of the private religion bookshop. So this policy have the positive results and the improvements in the standard of life and education levels, and the negative results is a strong religion, nationalism, and the mentality always demand a special treatment, and also have such a backlash against the preferential policies that when the confrontation between Muslim and non-Muslims, the government always gives the favorite to the Muslims, so cause a lot of the majority non-Muslims very strong sentiments. So this some instance happened in the street of Lanzhou. If the Chinese do some peddler, the trade work on the street, immediately Chengguan, the town, the administration will be confiscate their goods. But the Muslims sometimes, because the government are afraid to offend them and want to keep the social stabilities, so Muslims often, do that without any risks. This is, the next part is diversity in policy implementation, the case of the Xinjiang. since Muslims distribute all parts of the China, and particularly concentrated in the northwest of China. So the state policies treat Muslim groups are very different in different time and different regions. In Xinjiang, because of the national separatist movement and the Islamic extremism force, so the government was very, very harsh and strike hard policies and crack down radical religion movement. So this is a policy which inherited from the MPL. One hand use carrots, another hand use the sticks to handle this influential of the Saudi Wahhabism. And also, yes, at first, with the guideline of Deng Xiaoping's practicalities, the local government in Xinjiang tried to give the space for the religion freedoms, but then have the riots and the violent incident in the early of the 1980s, and so the government immediately become very harsh and take a hard line toward the Islam. And in 1990, after the independence of the Central Republics and the impacted China's Turkic Muslim groups, so the policy shifted in Xinjiang. And the aim is anti-three evil force, become the keywords. Three evil forces: the national separatists and the international terrorism and the Islamic, or we call it religion extremism. That's the armed force portraying on the street of the Urumqi. So to enhance the supervising work of the religions, and that's in Xinjiang. But in the inland of China, the Muslim students can pray, study Quran, and the university students can have the rights to believe in religions. But in Xinjiang, this is not allowed. So in 1996, Beijing approved this policy shift. They concluded that major dangers of the preventing Xinjiang from the stability are the national separatism and the illegal activity in the name of the religions. So take the measures of the restriction and toughness and treat Islam particularly. So this is the exhibitions in Kashgar in 2002, which is, yeah. So this is the two project strategies guided by the government. On one hand, very severely correct this Islam extremism. But on the other hand, if the normal religion practice and give a very linear way, this is the so state policy concerned about Islamic Muslims. This morning, Andrew is already introduced the structures of the leadership which the Communist Party imposed on the religions. United Frontier Department, I think it's the United Frontier Work Department, and the State Bureau of the Religion Affairs. This is spelling, I'm so sorry. And the State Nationality Committees, which is in charge of the ethnic minorities and the Islamic Association of China. This is the policeman and gave the speech in the mosque. What's the matter of the control, the rule of the religion affairs and the regulation for the democratic management of the mosque? The articles enhance the control of the religious activity and supervising of the Islamic education and the inspecting of the mosque buildings and check the work of the religion, real estate funds, and the official of the pilgrimages. And this is a Muslim in Shanghai, the homemade gun, yes, which causes the public instabilities and owned by the government. So state fairly resolving the factional conflicts within Islam and invite Muslim to play an intermediary role to tackling the contradictions within Islam, and also observations of the Islamic cleric into the administrations and recruit representatives from different Muslim groups and the factions, the factionals for the policy decision making. So I talk about the foreign policies and the impact of the foreign policy upon the domestic policy of the Islams. This is a post which on the Muslims website in China, the Chechnya, the jihad fighters. So under the Mao's leadership, and China adopted the theory of the third world in the foreign policies. So they take the soft approach to domestic affairs, dealing with Muslim ethnic groups, and appease the favorite return from the Islamic countries. And the foreign relation eventually is an extension of the domestic policies. In many ways, China, particularly against the simple powers, hegemony, and try to encounter this world trade and human rights records which are imposed by the Western countries. So they rally these Islamic countries for support. And this is the Chinese Muslims memorial of Osman bin Laden when the news that he was killed by the American special force. So the strategic shifts give the China government the opportunity for the 10 years economic development, and also very great opportunity to develop the relation with the Middle East and the Islam countries. And so increased relations and also the reliance on Middle East energies, and about the 60% of the Chinese oil and gas import annually come from the Middle East countries, and also rely on the labor market, the China export labors. But this also, the consequence is the intrusions of the Wahhabi Islam into China. So this is July 5, the 5th, yes, it's Uyghur Women's. So conclusions have a very successful lessons and also have some experience, but have a very negative part concerned about state policy in China. And I think, yes, I already talked about, yes, in my text. So, of course, such a state policies and the preferential program to the Muslim minorities also have some weak points. So I think, yes, have good parts and also have some not successful parts. That's, yes, drive me come and to learn from the scholars from, yes, from Canada and India. And thank you very much.